In this lesson, we're going to be diving a little bit deeper into Adobe InDesign's basic building blocks, which are, of course, the objects, the text, and the graphics. Additionally, we're going to be looking at how you can set up guides and use styles to automatically format the design that you're creating. To get started, you should have downloaded the Lesson 2 folder. If you want to get an idea of what the final product should look like, you can open up the O2 InDesign file, which is what this should be. Otherwise, we're going to start with the O2 Start InDesign file. To do this, I'm going to close out my file. At the main Welcome menu, you can click on Open and go locate Lesson 2 of your InDesign files and open the O2 Start InDesign file normally. If you're given a links issue, simply click on Update Modified Links. You can also go to the Links panel and close it out as well. The first thing we want to do is to go up to our Window, Workspace, and make sure you're working in the Essentials workspace. If necessary, you can also go to Window and Workspace and tell it to reset the Essentials, and this will put everything back to where it should be. Before we get started, let's also save a version of this. So we'll go to File and do Save As. Let's rename this design O2 Postcard. Right now, we're viewing our document in preview mode. Preview mode just simply lets you see what it would look like if it was printed or visible on the screen in its final form. We want to be able to see all of our guides and bounding boxes. To do this, look at the very bottom of your toolbox for this icon. When you click and hold, you can choose Normal Mode, and this will allow you to be able to see the bounding boxes of everything that are on your screen. Additionally, you can see all the things that may be placed outside of your pasteboard. Let's go up to View and also show our guides. View, down to Grids and Guides, and make sure Show Guides is turned on. This will now give us our magenta outline of where our margin is. Finally, we can see all hidden characters that are non-printable by going to Type and down to the very bottom and choose Show Hidden Characters. This will give us all of our blue non-printable characters that lets us know where the end of paragraphs are or where any spaces or any other kind of special characters may be. Now, text can only exist inside of a text frame, as you see here. In order to edit that text, let's choose our Type tool. Then we can place our insertion point just before the word or just after the word cafe, and let's hit the backspace to delete cafe and type bistro. Let's also make this entire line bold. With the Type tool still selected, you can triple click anywhere inside of this line, 1, 2, 3, and it automatically selects the entire paragraph that was selected. With everything selected, find your Properties panel and locate the character portion of it. Inside of here, we want to change this font from regular by clicking the down arrow to bold. Now our text that was highlighted has been reformatted. Next, let's place some text inside of the two text boxes that are at the bottom of our design. Very often, when you work with other editors and writers, they'll send you your text in a separate document. In this case, if we go to the lesson folder, this bistro document is a Microsoft Word document that has all of the text already inside of it. What we want to do is we want to link what's in this text box into here. To do this, let's deselect our area by choosing our selection tool, the black arrow, and simply clicking off of the artboard. Then we can go to File and down to Place in order to find the text we want to place inside of it. In our case, we're going to choose the bistro document. Make sure Show Import Options is not checked on. And if you can't see this, you can tell it to show the options to pop it up. With it not selected, say Open. Notice that your cursor has some text following it. Now, when we carefully click inside of this text box, it'll place the text inside of here. Now, this isn't all the text. As a matter of fact, it's not large enough to hold all of the text that was given to us. What we want to be able to do is to link up the text that's inside of this text box inside of this text box. To do it, notice that you have a little red plus sign at the very bottom right corner of this text box. This is our link port. By clicking on this red plus sign, you can see now it also follows our cursor, and we can click on this second text box to link everything from this box into this one. You can still see there's not enough room, but we're about to make some edits to bring the size down and to reformat everything. If you haven't done so, now's a good time to go to File and Save. To quickly format everything, we're going to use some predefined paragraph styles. First, let's select our text by choosing our Type tool. Then you can click once inside of just one of the text boxes. Let's go up to Edit and select All. Notice the keyboard shortcut is Command A. This will select all of the text that's been linked together between those two frames. Next, go over to your Properties panel, and at the very top, locate the Text Styles area. We're going to format the paragraph styles for this. Now this document, when you click the down arrow, already has a variety of different text styles saved into it. Select the body copy style. Notice that this reformats all of the text that was selected to be the same font, size, and styling. If we place our cursor inside of the first line for starters and small plates, you don't have to select everything. InDesign recognizes that you're inside of this paragraph. Let's return to our paragraph styles, and let's choose Subhead. You can see how it quickly formats that. Let's do the same for entrees and desserts. Placing your cursor inside of entrees and desserts, and choose Subhead for it as well. From here, we can deselect everything by going back up to Edit and Deselect All. And of course, we can go up, and now's a good time to save our file. Now, paragraph styles allow you to quickly format entire paragraphs of text. If you only wanted to format just one or a few characters, we need to use character styles. Let's grab our zoom tool, and I'm going to click a couple of times to zoom in so I can see my text a little bit better. Now I can grab my text tool, and let's highlight the parentheses V that's in this first paragraph. We want to change the formatting of this to be italicized, and also under the appearance, let's change its fill color to be red bright. Now to save this bright red italicized characters as a style, let's go up to the Type drop-down menu and open up our Character Styles panel. Inside of this panel, we can save new styles by clicking on the Options menu and choose New Character Style. This is going to ask us to give it a name, so we'll call this our red italic for the name. And what this option is allowing us to do is to go through all of the character formatting that can be done. For instance, changing its font style, font color, or any other parts, and it applies it to whatever the style is needed. Make sure Apply Style to the selection is turned on and say OK. Notice now that the red italic is saved as a character style. If we wanted to apply it again, we can go through and select other instances. So for instance, find the V, in this case with the GF. With it highlighted, you can go to the Character Styles panel and simply click on red italic, and automatically it formats it. In addition to finding the character styles here, if I was to highlight the next one, which is right here, you can also find the character styles under the text styles at the top. Simply choose Character Styles, and here's red italic for it to be used. Repeat this process for all 4 that are inside of this text box. We can now close our Character Styles panel simply by clicking on its icon. And then we can deselect all by doing Shift Command A to deselect everything. I'm also going to press Command and 0 to zoom back out to see my entire design. Let's also go to File and Save. Now that we've placed and formatted some text, let's place and format a graphic at the top right here. If you want to import a file in InDesign, another place to do it is to go to the bottom of your Properties panel and choose Import File. From here, let's find the dining room JPEG, make sure Show Import Options is not checked on, and say Open. Again, it's going to follow your cursor until you know where you want to place it. In our case, you can see there's a blue and magenta guides that we want to place this inside of. I'm going to click and drag all the way to the right side, and when I let go, you can see how it creates a frame and places my graphic inside of it. Now remember, since it's inside of a frame, at any time you can use your selection tool to click on any of the edges, in this case the bottom edge, and drag up, and it will recrop your picture. If you make a mistake, you can always do Command Z or Edit and Undo, and that will replace it back to where it was. If you use your selection tool and click on the grabber on the inside of it, this will select the content or the picture inside of the frame. With this, you can move the picture around and place it wherever you need it to be. Additionally, you can click on the edges and drag out to resize it. Just know that when you do this, we want to make sure it's being scaled proportionally. I'm going to undo what I did, undo resize, and simply back up till it's placed right where it needs to be. This is a good stopping point, so we'll go to File and Save and continue moving on.